been in conversation with Ordnance Survey. Most of the local authorities use Ordnance Survey data if they have digital solutions that they're using at the moment, and in many cases that is licensed Ordnance Survey data that's made available under the PGSA agreement. And obviously it's DFT's intention that the data coming out of the D-TRO service is openly available, and that does cause a bit of an issue, which is if you are describing large swathes of curb lines in an urban environment, you may well be doing that by transcribing Ordnance Survey licensed data, and Ordnance Survey quite rightly raised concern that there was a possible infringement of IPR as a respect of that. So we've done a lot of work in the background, looking at a lot of different solutions and approaches, and we came up with an approach which said we will randomize spatial coordinates for geometries which are not point geometries. OS are quite happy to let us publish point geometries, but for polygons and line strings, we take each individual vertices and it's randomized. Its position is randomized between 0.5 meter and 0.75 meter, and that's done in such a way that we can reproduce that result, but it's not obvious that randomization. So anybody trying to therefore reproduce the underlying OS data would struggle to do so. That might seem a bit convoluted, but it's got around an obvious potential IPI problem. We believe that that this is probably suitable for most use cases at the moment. There are discussions around very precise data, and we'll have to look at those as they come forward. But at the moment, for most use cases, we don't suspect it's a problem. And it's fair to say that we also, of course, have the ability for those people, entities who are licensed OS license holders to make the raw data available, and we've been in discussion with OS about how that will be facilitated, whether that's done as a OS release data set or whether DFT do it, and news will follow on that shortly, but certainly that would include the PGSA members, so the local authorities. So we are going to make the change that the external data feed going to the data consumers will have this fuzziness in it, but the examples you can see on screen show that actually in most cases it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. It only affects the spatial data. We are not making any other change to any of the other data, just to be clear on that.